Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I thought that critical belief of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money.
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I thought that critical belief of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money.
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is a network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impacts to the society. Today on Open Conversation, we'll look at the stories. First, Rivers crisis. Assembly condemns Fubara's budget presentation to Okojombo faction. On Edo State, reverse suspension of local government chairman. PDP urges Tinubu. On politics, Damagum hopeful PDP will reconcile with Kwakwanso. On reforms, Nigeria will smile in 2025, APC says. And on governance, Nigeria on life support before Tinubu's election, Ababio says. We are open for advert placements, bookings and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I thought that critical belief of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money.
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I thought that critical belief of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money.
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act, I thought that critical belief of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money.
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I thought that the lead of this minister and the deputy
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I thought that the lead of this minister and the deputy
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
no matter how tough the challenge.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. And before I introduce my guest to you this morning, I want to take this opportunity to wish you a very happy new year, and I hope you did enjoy your Christmas celebration and you are also positive that the new year is going to bring a lot of beautiful things. And finally, all your new year resolutions, please don't break it by the end of January. And hanging on that, I introduce my guest to you for open conversation this morning. I have with me Living Gifting Jamala Esquire. Living Gifting Jamala is a legal practitioner and political analyst. Good morning and welcome, Living.
Good morning, Choma. Good morning and happy new year to you. I thought you would skip that side of the program, so we'll have the privilege of telling our viewers happy new year.
Why would I skip that?
Maybe that's how the year wants to begin, but thank God you never left
There
here.
was no way I was going to skip that.
Happy new year to you.
Thank you so much. And you're looking good, by the way, Jamala. You're looking good and fresh. So I assume you rested well.
Happy new year to you.
Thank you very much. I also have with me Zinami Iwariso, a legal consultant, a draftsman, researcher, and a political analyst. Good morning, Zinami, and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigerians.
And Happy New Year to you as well, Zinami.
I actually don't believe in New Year.
Why don't you believe in New Year?
I'm of the opinion that there's nothing new in any year. It's just a turn of a calendar year. So I welcome you to 2025.
All right, thank you very much. I still take that. And you're looking good, by the way.
Thank you.
Zinami. And on to the story. River State House of Assembly has frowned upon the presentation of the 2025 appropriation bill by Governor Siminalayi Fubara to the three-member assembly led by Victor Okojumbo, loyal to him. This was the theme of the Tuesday's plenary, during which the House Judicial Committee, led by Deputy Speaker Dumle Maul, presented the Court of Appeal judgment, which affirmed the legitimacy of the House, as well as the speakership of Martin Amehule. The Deputy Speaker then criticized the governor for disobeying the judgment. Two other lawmakers also expressed their strong displeasure at the governor's action, with a member, Smart Adoki, suggesting the judgment be submitted to security agencies for action. In his remarks, the Speaker, Right Honorable Martin Chike Amehule, stated that in the recent Court of Appeal judgment, the appellants, including the governor, lost on all grounds of appeal, except on the withholding of federal allocation to the states. The Speaker averred that, regrettably, Governor Fubara now sees himself as one who is above the constitution of the country and the judgments of courts, adding that such recklessness is an invitation to self-help and anarchy. Recall that on Monday, Fubara presented the 2025 proposal of 1.1 trillion naira to the Victor Okojumbo-led assembly. Fubara had described the 2025 budget as a blueprint for consolidating the achievements of his administration in 2024 while charting a new course for sustainable development. Let me start with you, Barrister Jamala. What do you make?
I was thinking and really praying in my mind that you will start with Zinami.
But then that prayer was not answered. So
anyway, I didn't pray to God, so I was just wishing But since you have brought it to my table, I will start it by saying I think the caption was erroneously done.
What caption is it?
The caption talks about assembly, Rivers Assembly. Now, that assembly, by that caption, is laying credence to giving credit to Ameule and co. as being members of Rivers Assembly.
So who are the members of the Rivers?
Members of Rivers Assembly are those the governor presented the budget to.
What does the appeal court judgment say?
Which of the appeal court judgment are you talking about?
What does the appeal court
Which
judgment?
of the judgment? There are three appeals so far.
There are two judgments given so far.
There are three appeals so far that the Court of Appeal have decided.
What was the appeal court judgment of October? I think October 10.
That is that of the one that emanated from Omotosho's case.
What was the appeal court judgment?
To the effect that Martins and Mewule's group are members of Rivers State House of Assembly. But let me give you the shocker.
So now,
let me give you a history.
Hold on. You took a swipe.
Yes, that is the point I'm still making. It is that swipe.
To that,
no, let me.
You're saying that it was erroneously done.
Yes, to my own mind.
To your own mind.
Yes, it was erroneously done.
Now, when you say it's erroneously done, I will protect the integrity of Atlantic Television Network.
It is not about the integrity of
Atlantic. It was not erroneous. Hold on, Jamala. It was.
I think you are getting it wrong.
It was not erroneously done.
Okay.
Until a higher court says otherwise.
Get my point. Get my school of thought first.
Having said that,
yes,
you can continue.
For me to say that, you ordinarily should have calmed down.
It's not about coming down.
Get my school of thought.
You took a swipe. I will protect the integrity of the company. And I've done that, so you can continue.
All right. I said so because the Omotosho's case predates their defection.
Okay.
And so the Omotosho gave that judgment as though there was never a defection.
Okay.
Because it was never presented to him that we have moved. And because we have moved, we still want to be, or we are still allowed to be members of Rivers State High Court. So the status post-defection has not been decided. And so that was the same reasoning the Court of Appeal looked into. But all these issues of Court of Appeal and Omotosho, all of them went into nothing from December 11th, 2023. When this set of men defected in line with their right, exercising their rights, as provided for under Section 109 sub 1G, and sub 2 of it, 109 sub 2 of it. They said they exercised that right. On the point that there was a defection, or there was a defection in the PDP, and so their defection was justified.
There was a defection in the PDP or crisis in PDP?
There was a crisis in PDP, thank you. And so their defection was justified. And so if you get the understanding from this point, you know that the Omotosho's case and that of the Court of Appeal has nothing to do actions post-defection. It is actions pre-defection that these things emanated. When they perceive a division from the assembly, they ran to Omotosho to protect their seats or protect their name. That was what Omotosho did. That in a valid constituted 31-man assembly, a faction of 3 or 4 cannot have prominence over a 27 members. Now, after these pre-defection issues, let's move to the post. We have argued here severally that while some of the view that Section 109 sub 1 is self-executory, others are saying no, it is ambulatory in nature, that you cannot exercise it until a court of law pronounce so. Now, the exercise of that right is if I believe, or if I'm of the view that 109 is self-executory, you go and execute it in court and prevent me from holding that view. And that is what is pending before Federal High Court 2 in Port Harcourt. In the 2 cases that are coming, one is coming up on January 25th for judgment. And so if that is the position, then the assembly properly constituted is that of Oko Jumbo. I will take us to Section 102 of the Constitution. As some persons have made mention of Section 90 or 96 that talks about a quorum, and made mention of Section 11 that where the House fails to constitute a quorum, the National Assembly should take over the proceedings of that. And I've said, no, it doesn't work in this circumstance. Now, valid members of the House is where quorum is reckoned from.
Who determines the valid member of the House at this point?
Who determines the valid is the members of the House who live in. That determines, and that has been done by Ehie before he resigned.
Was Ehie in suspension when he emerged as Speaker?
If you suspend me from my own father's house, if my father disowned me from, or suspend me from his own house,
so
upon his death, am I entitled to inherit my father's inheritance? Despite the fact that my father has disowned me.
Who declared in this instance the seats vacant?
Have you forgotten a decision of court, which up to today has not been vacated?
A decision of court which up until date has
which
not
up
been
to
vacated.
today has not been vacated.
Did you also remember?
Because the parties,
did you also remember the judgment and the order of Justice Wale and what the court said after that?
That is for Justice Wale. Have you talked about the other judge that came before Justice Wale's order? Because the parties in that matter are pro-SIM members and none of them has been appealed. Have you talked about that? And it was so glaring, it was so clear that the Commission of Information even have to revive our memory. We have all lost touch of that particular case. That was before my Lord, Honorable Justice Aprieku.
Which of the cases exactly?
The case that asks that these particular members should continue to sit and they should not be tampered with by anybody before Wale reinstated it. Has anybody appealed?
Justice Aprieku of State High Court.
Yes, River State High Court.
Go ahead.
It is that of Justice Wale that have been set aside by the Court of Appeal because the parties there came in and also appealed.
Between the judgment of Justice Omotosho and Justice Aprieku, which one took preeminence?
They are not of the same issues.
They are not of the
they
same
are not of the same issues.
Are they legislative?
They are not of the same. They are not of the same issues. They are not of the same parties. Parties are different. Issues for determination are different.
Differentiate them.
While I said the first one, Omotosho's case, has to do with recognition of these persons prior their defection. All other cases has to do post-defection.
What was Aprieku's judgment? What was the prayer?
It was not a judgment. It was just an interlocutory order.
Interlocutory.
Yes,
what was the
it
prayer?
was not a judgment.
What was the prayer?
To allow this set of persons to continue to sit unhindered, the Jumbo and Co.
Who are the set of the Jumbo and
Co? Yes, unhindered.
Right. Okay, so now if I understand what you're saying,
have you appealed against that order?
If I understand what you're saying,
yes,
these both cases have to do with River State House of Assembly.
Yes,
correct. And the Federal High Court in January 20th, 2024, by Justice Omotosho, gave judgments affirming Matisame Hule as Speaker of River State. Pre-defection. Hold on.
Oh, pre-defection, please. Let's get it right first.
Hold on, Jamala. Hold on. Pre or post, there was a judgment. The pre-defection and post-defection is what you argue out in court.
Yes.
What I am
is what we are even arguing here, not in court. That will build up our knowledge of our argument.
What I am looking at is conflicting judgment
over
the same legislative
No, they are not.
Hold on, Jamala. Now, Justice Omotosho's judgment affirmed Matisame Hule as the Speaker of River State House of Assembly, and that came January 20th, 2024. And Justice Aprieku of the State High Court, what month was that order given?
I cannot recollect.
You cannot recollect.
Yes.
But then that order, not judgment, that order came after Justice Omotosho gave his judgment. And that order was over the same legislative house. Now, regardless of whether the parties were different or not, there are conflicting judgments over an interest. Subject matter.
Issues of law.
Was it over the same subject matter?
It was not the same subject matter. That's
Is it not the River State House?
No, that the building, Chairman, wait, issues of law doesn't operate like that.
So now, a Federal High Court upholds one.
Can I come into what you have raised?
The Federal High Court affirms one as a Speaker of River State House of Assembly. Another State High Court now says this one is the Speaker of what exactly? River State House of Assembly. It is one River State House of Assembly here and not two. And now, going by the judgment of Justice Aprieku, the order of Justice Aprieku that you have brought up, that you said came before that of Justice Wale, we now have a faction, or we have two factions of the same house. We'll still come back to what you've said, but at this point,
I think no. I will no. Sorry. No, so that my memory will not.
Okay, go ahead.
Will not fade up. Please. Issues of law. There's what we call course of action in law. Before you institute an action in court, something must have happened to the fact that you are not satisfied with. So the course of action in these two scenarios, these two cases, were never the same. That is the point I'm trying to make. My Chama, please, can you please listen? That the fact that you took Jamala to court for the shape of his head will not stop another person from taking Jamala to court for the shape of his hand. But everything revolves around Jamala. That is the point you are trying to bring. And because someone took him to court for the shape of his head, another person taking him to court for the shape of his hand, it means they are conflicting on the same parties. No, it is not so. That is not how law operates. Issues that will arise from the shape of his head will be treated differently from that will come out from the shape of his hand. That is exactly what is transpiring in the River State House of Assembly. And I said, remember, there are two different issues. One has to predate their defection. The others postdate their defection. And so you cannot lump all of them together to say they are one single issue and therefore they are conflicting. They are not.
All right, very well. I don't want to push for that because I need Jamala to speak.
You need Zinami.
Zinami. When Zinami is done, I'll still come back to you, Jamala.
That's why we're here.
Don't interject. Don't interrupt Zinami. I hope you won't do that.
Why are you preempting me? I never said.
Zinami, what do you make of this story?
You know, sometimes discussing these issues will make you turn to what I call just keep my mind, you know. But again, when we discuss issues of River State, we are always sounding the same every day. Because the issues are not different. There is no the issue in River State is an issue of who is going to lead the assembly. That is the major issue here. And so, for me, first of all, I don't even understand this press statement from the Amewule-led assembly, which has been recognized up to the Court of Appeal as a legitimate, legal, and lawful house. You know, because there's nothing to condemn.
When you say that,
no, there's nothing to condemn because for me, what does not exist does not exist. You can carry out an action, but if you are playing by the rules, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the sense that they are not supposed to have seen that in the first place, because what are you condemning when you know that thing is not existing? The court has said what is existing is Amewule as the speaker, and that house is the legitimate house. Whatever another person is doing does not exist. So what are you condemning?
Okay. If I understand you,
what are you frowning at?
In the first instance, Amewule shouldn't have.
Exactly. Don't even, exactly.
Oh, okay.
If I was to advise them, that's what I would have told them. There's no point there, because these things have been recognized by the law. The Court of Appeal in this instance, from all cases, whether it's coming from CNYLO, coming from Motor Show, these courts have confirmed that Amewule is the speaker. And also, in River State, like I've always said in the previous period that I appeared on this program, is that what is happening in River State is a theater of the absorbed. If you go back to our previous discussions. Now, what is happening is that we are having the government of one man. And from all precedents, the governor is not ready to listen to any decision that does not go in tandem with his wish and caprices. And so therefore, whatever the court says, even if the Supreme Court speaks today, I can tell you here that it will be the 10th wonder of the world if the governor will listen. It will be the 10th wonder of the world if the governor will listen. And so therefore, we do not need to be, going back and forth, repeating the same thing, trying to confuse ourselves, convince us, trying to bring up issues that have been dealt with. So I don't even want to go into the legalities of all. All I know is that at the moment we speak, from the various decisions of the Court of Appeal, Amewule have been recognized in two occasions, even on the 13th of December. Just last month, 13th of December, there was a decision.
Yes. I
You know?
have the CTC
Yes,
copy
that
of
was a
that.
decision. Although I've not been in opportunity to read the full judgment.
I will
but,
bring up the CTC copy on the screen, you would see it.
You see, no, so I just said it now. So when we look at all these things, and so we are saying that we are presenting a budget. You are not presenting a budget. You are running a government of one man. One man of the guys will say that, okay, since you people don't want to agree with me, I'm going to do the way I want. And that is what is happening in Rivers State. So you cannot tell me that Okojombo is this, Okojombo is nowhere to be found. As far as the law is concerned, as far as the decisions of the court have been are something to go by. So we do not, I do not believe in these statements from Amewule saying this, saying that, and all that.
Now, Zinami is talking about post-election and pre-election.
Who? Jamala.
And Jamala is basing his argument that because this was a pre-defection, a pre-defection case,
you see,
according to
Shoma,
him, it means that appeal court judgment in this instance.
No, Shoma, let me refresh your mind. You know, that's why I said I feel like it is a big burden to go back to discuss all these things.
But we have
you know,
to, because we have
you know,
to educate
because yeah, of course that's correct. You know, when you say post and pre, you know, it's it's funny because first, we have said that Okojombo, in all his arguments in court and even in the decisions of the court, in the Court of Appeal in this instance, rose to proclaim himself the Speaker of the House by virtue of the declaration of seats vacant by Edison Ehie. These are the foundations of the issues. Edison Ehie was the one that purportedly declared these people's seats vacant.
He's saying that injunction was not
No, it has been invalidated because all the actions of Edison Ehie was declared null and void. It was challenged. You know, I don't know how the particulars of every decision. I will have laid it here, but I felt that these are things that we already know, and so I'm taking it for granted. You know, but that is the situation. It was Edison Ehie who started the declaration, and that was when he made himself speaker and declared himself vacant, but they've defected. So if Edison Ehie declared themselves vacant because they've defected, is it not post-defection? I'm asking you, is it not post-defection? That's post-defection. That's post-defection. So having declared themselves vacant and Okojombo now rose in by virtue of Edison Ehie's another purported resignation from the House, and the court has said Okojombo, you do not exist anywhere. So what are we not saying?
All right. I would have the MCR department put up the CTC copy of the judgment on 13th of December so that everybody can see the CTC copy and what the judgment says. Now it says in the Court of Appeal in the Abuja division holding at Abuja on Friday the 13th day of December 2024 before their lordships, the name is mentioned there. And it says that between the government of Rivers State as appellants and Rivers State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Martin Chike Amehule, Honorable Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, the Central Bank of Nigeria, Zenith Bank, Access Bank, Accountant General of the Federation, the Governor of Rivers State, Satimilaye Fubara, the Accountant General of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, Honorable Justice S.C. Amade, the Chief Judge of Rivers State, Honorable Justice Adolphus Enebeli, and these are the respondents. That's about 11 respondents. And they said judgment delivered by Hama Akawu Baka JCA. Now, on to the second page. I will start from the second page where it says this decision. Please bring up the second page where it says the first sentence there starts with the worrisome aspect of the appellant's conduct. So I will read from the second paragraph. It says this decision being a judgment of a court of coordinate jurisdiction is binding on this court to the extent that the facts which it pronounces decision upon, which is on the validity and legality of the presentation of the appropriation bill by the governor of Rivers State to 4 members of the Rivers State Assembly and affirmed the judgment of the trial court therein, which had ordered that the governor should represent the said appropriation bill to the Rivers State House of Assembly led by the second respondent hearing as the speaker. This judgment has pronounced on the issue of who is the speaker of the House of Assembly. It is binding on this court until the Supreme Court takes a final decision on the matter based on the appeal already lodged before it. It is wrong to say that since the particular issue is on appeal, it cannot be obeyed.
Exactly.
Let me repeat it again. It is wrong to say that since the particular issue is on appeal, it cannot be obeyed, since that judgment has not been stayed. Now,
on the whole, can you read the ending part of the judgment? On the whole, on the entirety of the judgment.
Zinami, it would be nice if you don't interrupt. Thank you very much. Now, it continues to say again, as a matter of fact, it is the above judgment that gave an insight on the status of all the members of the River State House of Assembly by stating that the second respondent, which is Martin Samehule, and his group are still members of the House of Assembly, since the High Court had no jurisdiction to make the orders barring them on the ground that their seats are vacant. The subsequent judgment of 10th October 2024 in Governor of River State versus River State House of Assembly and others is reinforcing this situation by declaring that the seventh respondent as governor cannot validly claim to have presented the appropriation bill of River State to a House of Assembly of only 4 members, and that such presentation should be made to the House of Assembly led by the second respondent, which is Right Honorable Martins Amehule. The unambiguous effect of these two judgments of this honorable court is that as at today, the second respondent, which is Martins Amehule, and other members of River State House of Assembly who allegedly defected are still legitimate members of the River State House of Assembly and empowered to conduct the business of the House of Assembly. I abide by this well-reasoned decision of the court. My lords, it is meet at this stage to refer to section 281, subsection 1, subsection 2, and subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. It states that the decisions of the Supreme Court shall be enforced in any part of the Federation by all authorities and persons and by courts with subordinate jurisdiction to that of the Supreme Court. The decisions of the Court of Appeal shall be enforced in any part of the Federation by all authorities and persons and by courts with subordinate jurisdiction to that of the Appeal Court. The decisions of the Federal High Court, a High Court, and all other courts established by this Constitution shall be enforced in any part of the Federation by all authorities and persons and by other courts of the law with subordinate jurisdiction to that of the Federal High Court, a High Court, and all those other courts, respectively. In the book of the Rule of Law and Disobedience of Court Orders in Nigeria, Adebayo Akinlade was disturbed and thereby quoted as having said, "Are we a nation where the rule of law is practiced, or the rule of men is the norm?" Needless to say that the disobedience of court orders is detrimental to the rule of law, good governance, and progressive democracy, as stated. So, Sinami.
Yes, please.
What do you make of this?
This confirms what I've been saying since. Well, like I'm telling you that if you go to all the judgments, we are going to be speaking the same thing every now and then. You get my point? That is what I've said, and it's just the same thing that I've not read it, but I knew that there was a judgment because I was very busy this period. I've not been able to read, but I knew there was a judgment on the 30th of December. It was just that I was trying to read it, but it was not looking complete from the documents I have, so I decided to leave it. Well, I've not read it, but I knew that this is what will come up. You get, when we are saying that, what we are saying is this is what the court has said. It is spoken in simple and correct English. There is no Spanish, there is no Yoruba, there is no Ijaw, there is no whatever language that is there. for everyone to understand. Well stated, clearly spoken. You know, so we do not need to go here. Oh, let me tell you something. Let us face the fact here. Governor Sim is not ready to listen to the court. I've said it earlier and I'm saying it again. He will not listen to the court. As far as it is not in his favor, he will not listen. He will not obey. He's now running a government of one man. That is autocracy. Whatever he decides happen. So we do not need to start going to say what is happening is a sham. We know it. A 3-man assembly. Where does that happen? A purported speaker, purported leader, and a purported chief whip. Who again is there? It's 3-man now. It's 3-man.
I want to ask you a question from the constitutional angle right now, and not based on post-election and pre-election and all the judgments going on. What is the provision for presentation of appropriation bill? Is it 1/3 or 2/3? And then, if that is the case, I am aware that the Constitution says that the minimum seats in a House of Assembly should be 24, and the maximum 40. Now, if that is
Jamal, let us not go far. So I'm not cutting you short. Don't go too far. Don't start to quote. We have 3-man. Victor, we have 3-man. Victor, my friend. It is not also constitutional now.
Was it aligned?
It is not. Even the Plateau State governor, there's a case like that. It is not. If listen to the judgments that have been reeled out by the Court of Appeal in the various cases, you will see that the court continue to condemn the court suit 4. But I'm thinking this one man, my friend Victor, the IYC man that is now an assembly member, so correct, and the Opopo man, this other one, Adolphus, who is there again? I think one other person, is it Andoni also?
No.
That's it.
Man. It was 3-man.
It's 3-man. Is it 3-man? So what are we speaking?
I don't know where you're bringing all extra persons. It's 3-man.
It's 3-man. No, I want to even give them an extra person to see if maybe they've improved to number to 4. They cannot. It is not possible. It is not done anywhere. It is bizarre.
All right. Very well. Zidane, now what do you make of the appeal?
I don't know why you like calling.
I wanted to ask her if our name sounds familiar.
Sorry, Jamala.
Chama, when you were reading the Court of Appeal judgment, I asked you to go to what the court held, and you said I should not interrupt.
Yes,
I was thinking you were going to, on the summary of the judgment, what was the decision of the court, having analyzed all the issues. What does the court?
There were about 6 different issues.
I'm coming.
I can't read all.
No. There's a decision of court ends somewhere. Either the appeal is allowed or the appeal finds merit is allowed. The appeal lacks merit and is hereby dismissed. Those are issues of law. My friends knows. So I mean, if you are selective in your reading, they will not be passing the message.
That was a consolidated judgment. How many judgments were read out on that? I am not about to read judgments on this matter.
It is not about.
I don't have the liberty.
Will you, madam, with all due respect, will you please calm down? Let's look at these issues of law properly.
Go ahead.
You read out some issues of a judgment. With all due respect, that judgment was done. That matter was done by my office. And I have a certified true copy of that judgment in the office.
I can take a break so you bring it out.
Yes.
Should I go on a break?
If we go on a break, our time will be up, but you can come back.
I am patient.
I am talking about we have a certified true copy of the judgment in the office. And I am telling you what was the decision, final decision of the court.
Do you have the soft copy?
I don't have a soft copy unless I will call our secretary.
Call your secretary to send. I will go on a break. Call your secretary to
please
send the soft copy.
When we discuss issues of law, you not. I will make. Let me continue. I know it is your program. Let me continue.
I want you to bring it.
I will bring it, madam. Let me finish my point. If you want to go on a break, you go on a break.
Don't worry. You will bring it in subsequent
program. The point I'm making is that issues of law are not reasoned randomly. It must be dealt with squarely in law. Yes, those pronouncements are contained in some pages of the decisions. But the Court of Appeal in this final analysis said the Federal High Court lacked jurisdiction and therefore struck out.
Lacked jurisdiction on what matter?
Lacked jurisdiction on the subject matter which has to do with the presentation, with the River State budget. This decision you're reading is a flow from the decision of the budget presentation.
Jamala.
And therefore struck out the whole entire suit. Now, where a court lacks jurisdiction, any decision given therefrom ab initio is a nullity. But the court is allowed to say, peradventure we are wrong in holding that the court lacks jurisdiction. They now delve into the merit. But that is an obiter.
Jamala, do you still want to continue? Or can I say
If
something?
you want me to stop, I will stop.
No, okay, hold on. Jamala, now this matter that you're talking about, the judgment of December 13, is a consolidated judgment.
Consolidated judgment of which matters now? Which matters? That's not a consolidated.
Hold on.
They are all appeals of the same sort. They are brought by different parties within the parties in the original.
Is it consolidated?
It's a consolidated, but the issues are the same.
Jamala, we are saying the same thing. Hold on. As much as you're a lawyer, I am extremely, hold on.
Yes.
As much as you're a lawyer, I am far from being unlearned as well.
I'm not saying
now,
but issues of law must be appreciated that way.
Is it consolidated? You said yes.
Yes,
so
consolidated.
Now, when I now said it's consolidated, why are you interrupting? Consolidated as in how?
I'm not saying.
Hold on. It was a consolidated matter. I am telling you.
Yes, I am aware.
Good. Now, hold on. When you say that the appeal court said that the Federal High Court did not have jurisdiction, the appeal court on that day handled 6 different cases that were on appeal. Jamala, hold on. Now, the one that was struck out, that the Federal High Court did not have the jurisdiction to entertain, was the issue of barring the Central Bank of Nigeria from paying FAC allocation to River State government.
I think at this point you can go on a break.
This matter, I will not go on a break.
No, at this point, I think we should go on a break. I want to bring the judgment of the courts.
Jamala, hold on.
You said you should go on a break.
Jamala, hold on. I am the moderator.
I agree, but we must square it right.
I won't go on a break.
I cannot be bamboozled into towing a particular sort of direction. I will not do so.
You're not being bamboozled.
I will not do so. I will not toe that line. I will not.
However, I will also not let you turn a matter upside down.
I am not. I am giving you issues of law.
No,
that is the point.
You're giving issues
of law here. And I'm ready to, let's go on the break. Let me bring the judgment. Consolidated matters, what makes matters consolidated, Choma, is because the 6 appeals were revolving on the same issues.
There were 6 appeals, yes?
Yes, they were revolving on the same issues. And how were those appeals filed? Let me tell you, Choma. River State Governor appealed. Accountant General of River State appealed. Central Bank appealed. And one other party appealed. And so the issues of all these appeals are subject of the judgment of the Federal High Court that dealt with the stopping of allocation of funds, and they were brought together. They are brought together since the issues are the same. They were consolidated, and so a decision of one binds the other. That is the law I'm trying to make you understand.
Jamala, let me just say hypothetically, because technically, not even technically, I said one, it was a consolidated appeal. 2, there were 6 matters that were being treated in that appeal. And the one of the FAC allocation was the one that built around River State High Court, the Federal High Court not having jurisdiction. Now, while I will not let you defer or deflect this conversation, let us go with the first appeal court judgment, and let's leave the one of 13th of December. Let's go to the one of 10th of December, because these appeal courts were saying the same thing. The question is, even in the one of October, I'm sure, the appeal court judgment says that Martin Sammy remains the Speaker of River State House of Assembly. Now, whether it is post-election, pre-election, post-defection, pre-defection, mid-defection, up-defection, or down-defection, the thing is, there is a judgment by an appeal court. That judgment, and so far, as to the best of my knowledge, a higher court has not said otherwise. A higher court has not said otherwise. And now the governor has presented the budget to a 3-man faction of the River State House of Assembly. And you, Jamala, you're saying that it is well within the right of the governor to do that. And you're saying that the three-man faction of Rivers State House of Assembly led by Okojumbo is the legitimate house. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that insofar as the budget of 2024 that was presented to Okojumbo has not been set aside by any court, there's nothing stopping the governor from presenting the 2025 budget, which he has done legitimately so to the Oko Assembly.
So there is no court that set aside the presentation?
There is no court that has set aside. There is no court that has set aside the budget of 2024. Not talking about the presentation. I'm talking about the budget itself that has been passed. Presentation is different. The process of passing is different. Assent is different. That law, the 2024 appropriation law of Rivers State has not been set aside by any court.
When the appeal court was giving their judgments, did they at any point say that everything done from the 2024 appropriation budget is illegal?
Not to my knowledge.
Did the appeal court say the governor should present the budget to...
You are talking about presentation. I'm talking about the law itself. I'm talking about the law itself.
Hold on. Now, talking about the law, the appeal court, when the appeal court even nullified the actions of everything that has happened in Okojumbo and all that, did the appeal court nullify the actions of that house?
I'm not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge?
Yes.
Very well. Now let's look at constitutional provision. Can a three-man assembly or a three-man faction legislate for a state over an appropriation?
Is there a provision in the constitution that says is that what's the quorum? That's what I'm saying. I have in my earlier presentation I said quorum can only be reckoned with to valid membership of the house. That is.
What does the constitution say about the minimum seats of the house?
I cannot recollect.
24. I am surprised.
Minimum, I'm coming. Calm down. Don't mix up. Can you please listen? You asked me a question. Allow me to answer. Minimum number of a house of assembly of a state. In other words, if the federation wants to create another state, the minimum standard of assembly member seat should be this number. What
was provided?
It's 24.
Very well.
It doesn't prevent an assembly less than. Go to section 102. Can you read section 102 of the Constitution?
What is the Supreme Court judgment?
Can you read section 102? So you browse it out. Section 102. Section 102 said nothing in this provision will prevent a House of Assembly from sitting if there is any vacancy in the seat. Or there are less in number in it. Go and read it. Section 102.
All right, very well.
So if I am saying quorum, section 90. When we talk about quorum, talks about membership of the house. If a membership of the house is constituted of 24, what is 1/3 to form a quorum, and what is 2/3 to take some principal decisions?
Okay, very well.
So it's ascertained from there. So if the valid membership of the Rivers State House of Assembly used to be 32, one died. We have 31, 27 by virtue of nature left their seats, and they were left with 4. Do you expect the state to be on standstill?
Okay, very well.
Answer the question. Do you expect the state to be on standstill?
Very beautifully put, Jamala. Now let us look at the Supreme Court judgment on Joshua Dariye.
I can't remember.
Well, that's why I'm saying, but I recall, Jamala, very, very well that you have quoted the Supreme Court judgment by Joshua Dariye on my show. I recall, that's why I asked you earlier. It appears that you tend to forget judgments and constitutions when it suits you. But then let me remind you.
If I have quoted Dariye's case.
Since you have forgotten, don't worry, let me remind you. In the matter of Joshua Dariye versus the, I think, Plateau State House.
Don't think, let's speak to facts.
Hold on, I know this. Hold on.
Don't think, just say the matter of Dariye versus.
Jamala, hold on. The matter went to court, and 8-member House of Assembly impeached the governor. And the matter went to court and up onto the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court, when giving judgment, said that these 8 House of Assembly members are legitimate House of Assembly members, and therefore they can legislate. However, in matters or legislations pertaining to one-third majority or one-third majority or two-third majority, if they do not form that quorum, they cannot legislate on that matter.
Can you repeat yourself again?
Hold on. That they cannot legislate on that matter. And based on that, the Supreme Court ruled that they overturned the impeachment of Joshua Dariye by an 8-man House of Assembly, based on the ground that they did not even form the quorum in the first instance to legislate over that matter. So since you have forgotten, I am now bamboozled and aghast that the Supreme Court can overturn the legislation or the action of an 8-man House of Assembly on the ground that they do not form a quorum. However, in the case of River State, it can be suspended and a 3-man can legislate over the appropriation bill of an entire 32 constituents or constituencies.
If you permit me to ask my learned friend, the two issues, are they the same? Issues as to quorum of impeachment of a governor and issues as to normal business of the legislation of the House, quorum of that House, are they the same?
Zinami, now, as a follow-up of that question, now,
because I asked you.
Impeachment of a governor, is it an exercise that falls within the jurisdiction of the legislative arm of a state?
Of course.
Now, appropriation bill, is this also an exercise approving the appropriation bill?
Of course.
It is also. So both of them are legislative exercises that falls within the jurisdiction of state houses of assembly.
That's correct.
And now,
however,
hold on,
let him mention the however now. No, Chairman, you are limiting the scope of the discussion.
I am the moderator.
I agree, but you are limiting the scope of the discussion.
It is not in your place.
That is the general rule. Then let him mention the exception to that general rule.
Zinami, let me ask you a clear question. The Constitution says that at every point in time, the minimum number of seats constituted for a legislative arm of a state will be 24. Now, and the highest will be 40. And Kano State is an example of the highest. Now, can a 3-man, now he's saying that the quorum, Jamala is saying that the quorum is according to the number of legitimate members in the House. I am not even looking at appeal court judgments now, affirming Martin Sameble as legitimate members of the House, but let us build on the hypothetical theory of Jamala.
No. We cannot build on his theory.
Okay, go ahead.
We cannot build on the theory because it is not the theory I agree with.
Okay.
Whether it's hypothetical or not, it's not the theory I agree with. So why would I build on his theory? You see, Chama, when you are doing the wrong thing, when you know that things are not properly being done, you will bring all sorts of arguments, all sorts of rules, all sorts of whatnot to justify your actions, and then even turn things upside down. I am telling you, there's a foundation has been laid. Are we here to build another foundation? A foundation has been laid by the Court of Appeal judgment. And even in the Court of Appeal judgment, they said that 3-man committee, 3-man or 4-man committee cannot. The court have stated it. Who are we to come? Whatever the court stated was from the Constitution. Who are we to come and now start to saying that we want to build another foundation, build another theory? No. Whether legitimate or illegitimate, the court has spoken. Who made them illegitimate? The issue of legitimacy or not is in the Federal High Court, and he has stated that year that judgment will come up on the 25th of January. In one of the matters.
So, when that judgment comes, the government is bound to obey the judgment of.
The Court of Appeal judgment is subsisting or valid until it is set aside.
By a Supreme Court.
Yes, that is what we are saying here. So no, yes, we don't need to we are over-laboring ourselves. We are over-laboring ourselves. What I'm telling you here, what the governor is doing is self-help, anarchy. He's doing it from his best pocket. Okay, Jamala is the person I want to go and see. I will go and see him and let him do what he wants me to do. Unfortunately for us, in Rivers State, it appears the chief judge is neither here nor there. Let me try to mind my words.
Why do you say that?
Because the chief judge is S.C. Amade. Simeon
Why do
Amadi.
you say he's neither here nor there?
He's not looking like somebody that is ready to take up his decisions. He was in the party with Governor Peter Odele, and we had the governor and Sinfobara and other political parties in the state.
He's working with the governor. So
hold on, he's working with the governor. No, he's not whoever the governor is. He should be. He's the chief judge. He was here. He made the statement. Did you know the statement? Go and look for it. Go and look for it. You are the journalist. Go and look for the statement he made. With regard to these reverse issues.
What in our discussion about defection?
No, we are talking about
judge.
No,
what in the defection? What in this theory? Let's see. Don't bring in a judge. The public.
I have the floor. I'm not castigating a judge. He made a statement.
That is not what we are discussing.
No, I am not casting aspersions.
That is not what we are discussing.
Whose horse is God. I will do it. The chief judge made a statement. We are talking about judges here. So we're not talking about what do you mean?
What was the statement? Go ahead.
No, you are the journalist. Go and look for the statement he made at that Dr. Peter Odele's
you are the one
party,
bringing
Christmas
his
party.
name
I brought it up. I'm giving
you brought it up. You stated it.
No,
you brought it up.
You are not questioning me. Allow me to speak. Allow me to speak. When you spoke, I didn't question you. Allow me to speak. I have the floor.
Zenami, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Now I'm telling you now that what is happening in River State is an issue where everything has been compromised. That even if even the chief judge appears to be compromised by virtue of the statements he made at Dr. Peter Odele's birthday party or Christmas party, where political parties members were involved. What is the chief judge doing here when you're talking about issues of judgment and issues of impeachment and issues of who is the right assembly, who is not the right assembly, who is governing River State well, who is not governing River State well? A chief judge? What are we not speaking?
All right, very well. At this point, it appears that we are now at a bigger crossroad. The 2024 budget still under litigation, and the presentation of the 2024 budget still under litigation, and the appeal courts insisting that the governor should present the 2024 budget to Martin Samewule, River State House of Assembly, and the governor still going ahead to present the 2025 budget to Okojombo-led faction. At this point, it appears that River State is at a crossroad. Now, as we round up this segment of this show, Jamala, what is the way forward?
For me, there's no way forward. The way forward is for the House of Assembly to go ahead and pass the budget. That is all. There's no way forward.
So if I understand what you're saying, Jamala, as a lawyer, a practicing lawyer.
Very well.
And when I introduced you, I called it Esquire. So you're a practicing lawyer who is well versed with the law, and you pride yourself as a learned gentleman.
Yes.
You are saying that it is okay for the governor to be in contempt of court.
Do I have a right to say so? You are the one saying contempt of court. The court has not said so.
Now,
so please, I will not answer that. You have a court has. I have not. The court has not held the governor in contempt. Choma, if you want to ask me personal questions,
so now,
ask me personal questions.
What you're saying in essence is,
yes, don't. That's contempt.
What you're saying in essence is, it is okay for Governor Similaye Fubara to disobey the judgment of the appeal.
The court of appeal, and present Fubara has not disobeyed
another faction.
Let me get you clearly. Fubara has not disobeyed the court of appeal. Fubara was never mandated to present 2025 budget.
2024.
I'm coming. What he just did is 2025.
Now,
Fubara was not mandated to present 2025 budget to a particular set of persons that you will say is in contempt of court.
All right, very well. Fair enough. Now, which House of Assembly did the appeal court affirm as the House of
The Court of Appeal in the, what's his name, Motoshaw's case, affirmed Amewule. And I'm of the view and the school of thought, personal to me, and I hold that right so gladly. Okay. And without any iota of doubt that ceases to become.
All right.
And if our views are justified, every other argument for the past 1 year that we have labored issue would die a natural death.
All right, very well. Jamala, you have still reinstated what I asked you earlier when you said, and you rightly said, you said, in my view and my opinion, the appeal court judgment does not hold water, and the faction that he chooses, meanwhile, the appeal court called them a forum of friends. So let me use the appeal court, let me borrow the appeal court language. The governor, it's okay to go ahead. It's okay for the governor to go ahead with the forum of friends. It's fine. Now, Jamala, Zinami, sorry, I will still ask you the same question. What is the way forward at this point?
The way forward, we are in Rivers State or where?
In Rivers State, with what is going on at this point, you cannot take away the fact that
is there any way forward in Rivers State?
It appears that Rivers State entered 2025.
I have told you here that
swinging.
I have told you here that in my own thinking.
Yes.
And because of the precedents that have taken place so far, and even if the Supreme Court take a decision now, the governor does not look like someone that will obey the judgment of the Supreme Court. I've said it here.
So are we?
We are
of anarchy?
That is what is happening now. Rivers State now is functioning under the totalitarian principle of one man government. Without recourse to laws being made by legislative House of Assembly, disobeying laws at will, and without recourse to laws being made, disobeying laws, doing whatever he feels like is the best for him to do, and that is what is happening. So I said that some other sections of authorities are also in connivance with what we are seeing, and the way forward for Rivers State is that the governor, if wants to do the right thing, should obey the law. That is the only right. That is the only obey the courts. If I say the law is look as if it's ambiguous, obey what the courts have said. If truly we are in a rule of law society and not the rule of man, obey the law. But if we are in the rule of man, then he can go on ahead with what he is doing.
Is disobedience to court orders called contempt of court?
It is called contempt of court, yes, but for it to be declared in contempt, it must be the court that must have declared that. But disobedience of court or judgments of court is contempt of court.
I asked this because I saw the CTC copy of the appeal court judgment, and the governor was held in contempt. And Zinami here, Jamala is saying that he did not see it. But then
he has not seen it now, so you are not seeing it.
Has the governor been prosecuted for disobedience to a court of law? Has the governor been done? You have rightly stated now. You have rightly stated. You pronounce so by a court of law.
Jamala, an appeal court said that. But we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll go to Edo State. Do not go away.
The obstacles we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I thought that we didn't believe of this minister and the
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I thought that we didn't believe of this minister and the
I've always said there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
As always said, there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To conduct this act, I thought that critical belief of this minister and the people access to our money in return.
As always said, there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To conduct this act, I thought that critical belief of this minister and the people access to our money in return.
As always said, there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To conduct this act, I thought that critical belief of this minister and the people access to our money in return.
As always said, there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To conduct this act, I thought that critical belief of this minister and the people access to our money in return.
As always said, there are two sides of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are? What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage?
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Acting National Chairman, the People's Democratic Party, Umar Damagum, stated that the party played a key role in shaping the political career of the 2023 presidential candidate of the new Nigeria People's Party, Senator Rabiu Kwakwanso. During an interview with press on Tuesday, Damagum stated that the PDP was crucial in shaping Kwakwanso into who he is today. He also mentioned that even if the NNPP merges with three other parties, they will not win an election without the PDP. Recall that in an interview with press on Monday, Kwankwaso criticized the PDP and its leaders, expressing his frustration over the humiliation he faced in 2015, which ultimately led to his departure from the party. Damagum stated that despite the challenges the PDP has faced, the party is still very much alive. He questioned that if the party was able to survive Kwankwaso's departure, why would anyone believe it is irrelevant now? Damagum highlighted the PDP's resilience and continued influence, pointing to its lasting structure and widespread presence throughout Nigeria. Despite these differences, Damagum expressed hope for a possible reconciliation with Kwakwanso. Jamala. Now, one would say that this statement by Damagum, to some extent, particularly when he's saying that PDP is hopeful for a possible reconciliation, could it be that PDP is trying to woo Kwakwanso back?
It's obvious. Kwakwanso was one of the founding fathers of PDP.
Okay. When
the likes of Damago were still maybe perambulating within the local level.
Okay.
Right? Now, he said PDP as a political party helped in shaping the political career of Kwakwanso. To God be the glory, that is true. But not when his likes mounted the rostrum as the leadership of the PDP. It was when the PDP was organized, they respect their laws, their own constitution. They have men of character, men who were willing to defend their own rules, rather than. Yes, I'm saying. I'm talking about the period Kwakwanso was in PDP.
Okay.
Not now. He's referring to the PDP helping Kwakwanso in molding his political career. And I agree with him. Okay. But only disagreement is that the persons who were saddled with the responsibilities of leading PDP were not his likes. That today the PDP cannot stand united. And so he should tell me whose career is molding as his present leadership. So he should not take the credit of the hero's past. Kwakwanso remained a founding member of the party. And their defection, their moving out of the PDP costs the PDP a national embarrassment. That up to today, the PDP have not been able to survive. It was this same I don't care, nonchalant attitude that those in power then saw the grievances of some few privileged persons from the party who were able to look at the leadership of the party to say, we are getting these things wrong. But out of the almighty rule that every typical African man wants to exercise as a leader, they ignored. So the slightest criticism you see from your friend, you begin to ask whether he has joined the other side. But you have forgotten that it takes only your friend to tell you where you are doing wrong. And PDP has been at the helm of affairs, controlling more than 2/3 of Nigeria, to the extent that they started losing some states to NPP, AMPP. And now they have lost all their zones. Look at the Southeast that used and the South. That used to be their pride. Their pride. It was their pride. Today, how many states in the South do they have? How many states in the Southeast do they have? It's because of the leadership style of Damagu, the likes of Damagu, that in 2027, if Damagu is allowed, 2027 PDP may not be able to parade one governor.
Interesting. All right, and can you isolate the actions of PDP leaders like Atiku Abubakar from the state of crisis in PDP?
The actions of Atiku Abubakar, because of his interest,
when did Damagu took over?
But Damagu took over sometimes. Like took over from after the 2023 election, when the IU was asked to step aside. And then Damagu took over.
So the crisis of PDP started before Damagu came in. When you were telling,
I said my analysis started from 1999 to 2015.
Well, you said it started 2015. You said the balkanization, the crisis started.
There is no family without a crisis. But the crisis most times don't come to the obvious until it gets to a starting point.
All right.
Every political party had their own internal problems, right? But it's becoming so obvious now. Now it has gotten to a point of one is finding it difficult to see whether the PDP can come back in united force again.
All right. Very well. Zinami, what do you make of this story?
Okay. You see, the statement of Kwankwaso that he was humiliated in 2015, you know, I'm asking myself, how was he humiliated in 2015? You know, because Kwankwaso has served as minister, as governor under PDP, and in 2015 he was humiliated. How? How was he humiliated? It is that same 2015 that he produced the governor of his own state. So how was he humiliated?
Did he have presidential ambition?
He did have presidential ambition. He lost. So how were you humiliated? How were you humiliated? You know, you see, I agree with my little understanding of this political game is that as you grow, your interest grows, and as you climb various offices, you continue to develop some form of self-importance, and you give yourself, you feel that you have some level, you know, and that some certain things should come to you in a different way.
Influence.
And if it doesn't come that way, you feel either bad or something, which is part of the system, you know. But for you to say you are humiliated is, I don't know, no, I don't know if that statement is correct. And for Damagun to say he's open for reconciliation, it's politics.
PDP is open for reconciliation.
It's politics. He's the chairman of the party, and as the chairman of the party, he's the leader of the party, so he's open to receive. Political party is about the people. So the more people you have, the better for you. And nobody can say Kwankwaso is not an asset politically in Nigeria.
No, he has been expelled from NMPP.
I don't know about that. They are still having their embroglio in the court.
Yes.
Who is this and who is not that. But we are concerned with the issues of PDP that has been raised.
That expulsion or that issue in NMPP has probably opened doors, and that could be a point and probably debate that PDP is trying to throw to Kwankwaso, since these issues
Kwankwaso at this point, Kwankwaso needs the PDP more than the PDP needs him.
Okay.
No, because what we know now currently is that Kwankwaso has presidential ambition. He's a well-read man. He has presidential ambition.
And he has made a statement before that he's willing to deputize Obi as well.
I don't know about that.
There are
but he has presidential ambition, whether vice president or president. There's a presidential ambition. And for you to get to that level, it is not by mushroom political parties. You need a party that has a spread. Party that has a spread, even if they are losing their spread, that has experience of being there before. You know, and everything comes down to leadership. The problem that's why it feels like things are falling apart. Leadership. And it's not an issue that we should blame Damagu. Damagu has not stayed in PDP as chairman for more than 3 years now. He has not been there for that long. So we have had subsequent chairmen of the party and leaders of the party that have not done well for the party.
Okay.
You know, and so it's not a Damagu issue. Damagu was among the persons that supported former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and gave him 100% support, and even won his seat for Atiku Abubakar.
Right.
You know, so we cannot come and say Damagu is not the problem. See, when we want to correct an issue, we need to look at the underlying issues.
Right.
Even in Yoshiayu made some uncomplimentary remarks before he was removed. You know, so the issue of Damagu opening the doors and the windows and the roofs of PDP. For Kwankwaso, it's a welcome development. Right. But I will tell Kwankwaso, if he's going to listen to me, that he needs the PDP more than the PDP needs him.
Just so briefly before we move to the next storyline, please.
No, we are actually out of time.
I agree, but the fact that, my friend, you know, politicians are always hopeful to the extent that they said PDP has the spread. There's what they call former glory.
All right.
When the glory left Ika, but it was unknown to him that the glory has left him.
Okay.
I think PDP should also look inward.
My friend is becoming religious now.
Gentlemen.
He's going to the spiritual world.
Gentlemen, I think this is where I wish we could actually continue with these conversations, because there are a lot to dig out in PDP crisis. But then we have to wrap it up at this juncture. Thank you so much, Jamala, for coming. It's always a pleasure having you.
It's a pleasure because you're always fighting me. Thank you for having me this first day of the year, and it's nice beginning the year with this high spirit.
Of course, and thank you so much, Zinabi, for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the good conversation.
So much, our viewers for always staying connected to us. We are open for advert placements, bookings and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ovi Laurentia. Transition means competence. Do not forget.
I beg, can I take a picture here? Shama.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I call for critical belief of this minister and the capital.
I've always said there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites, which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.